KCAL is on the air.
Who knows what evil lurks in the hearts of men? The shadow knows.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we near the start of another happy holiday season, the Blue Coal Dealers of America wish you, the members of their vast, unseen audience, the merriest Christmas ever. And they present as their special Christmas gift to you a heartwarming Yuletide adventure of The Shadow. Excuse me.
Before the Shadow starts his adventure, I'd like to add my Christmas greetings to those of the Blue Coal Dealers of America. You know their product. Blue coal is the modern equivalent of the old-fashioned Yule log. You can depend upon blue coal to bring warmth, good cheer, and comfort to your home 24 hours of the day. And with each order of blue coal is included the free extra home heating service of your friendly blue coal dealer. Is your bin well filled for the holidays? If not, phone your neighborhood blue coal dealer first thing in the morning.
The Shadow, the serious character who aids the forces of law and order, is, in reality, Lamont Cranston, wealthy young man about town. As the Shadow, Cranston is gifted with a hypnotic power to cloud men's minds so they cannot see him. Cranston's friend and companion, the lovely Margo Lane, is the only person who knows to whom the voice of the invisible Shadow belongs. Today's drama, Joey's Christmas Story. Was there any particular destination you was wanting me to drive you to today, Mr. Cranston? Hey?
Yeah, I'm looking for little Joy, the newsboy.
Oh, well, if it's the newspaper you want, I can stop and
No, we're looking for Joey, Shrevey.
Oh.
We have a special date with him that we keep every Christmas season.
Oh, well, that's so nice.
Yeah, every year for the past 3 seasons, we've taken Joy on the tour of all the toy stores and the department stores.
Oh, well, that's really nice of you folks. You know, this time of year, I get to wishing I was a kid again myself. Ain't that silly?
Oh, no, of course not, Shrevey. We all feel that way.
You know, my friend and acquaintance, Big Charlie, of whom you've heard me speak.
Yes.
Well, him and I used to have lots of fun at Christmas time when we was kids. That is, till Big Charlie spoiled it all.
How was that?
Well, he got us banned from all the toy departments in the stores downtown.
Oh, no, why?
Just on account of one teensy little thing he used to do.
Well, what was it?
He gave Santa Claus the hot foot.
Well, that's a fine thing to do, all right.
Oh, look, Lamont. There's little Joey on the corner. Stop your cab, Shrevey, will
Sure
ya?
thing, sure thing.
Get your paper. Hey, Mr. Cranston. Gosh, I thought maybe you wasn't coming.
Well, how are you, Joy?
I'm fine, thanks. Hello, Miss Lane.
Hello, Joey.
Are you set for our little excursion today?
Well, I still have a couple of papers left.
Oh, really? Well, how many papers have you?
Let's see, I got 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11 I got.
11. Well, let's see. You think $5 would pay for all of them?
Gosh, $5? Gee, Mr. Cranston, you shouldn't give me that much money.
That's all right. Throw the papers away. Let's get going.
Would you mind if I don't throw them away? Well, seeing it's almost Christmas and everything, well, I'd like to give them to some certain people that maybe couldn't afford to buy one.
Yeah, sure, Joey. Go ahead.
Gosh, thanks again, Mr. Cranston. Hey, Willie, here's a paper. Compliments of Joey.
Aw, he's a swell kid. Look at him. You'd think he was giving away $1 million.
Well, it's just about what it is to him, too.
Yeah, that kid's a regular character. I hope he saves the paper for me, eh?
Shrevey, I don't think you're on his chair to this.
Well, that's what I get for owning a cab, eh?
I got rid of them all but one, Mr. Cranston.
Good. Now get in the cab.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Let's get going now.
Let's go.
Well, why'd you save the one paper, Joey?
Oh, that's from my old friend Hobo Sam. He gets a lot of good use out of the paper.
Really? How's that?
Well, when he finishes reading it, he wears it inside his shirt to keep warm. The Evening Record's the warmest paper in town.
Maybe they should advertise that.
As I says before, that kid's a character, hey?
I'll tell you what, you tell us where old Hobo Sam can be found, and we'll stop there before we go to the store.
Oh, he's just down the street a ways. Oh, hey, look, there's my pop. Hey, would you please go past this corner, Mr. Shrevey?
Oh, sure thing, kid, sure thing. Every little bit helps. Thank you.
Hiya, Pop.
Oh, hello, son.
Pop, don't he look nice, though? I'd venture he's the best-looking street corner Santa Claus in the whole world.
Joey, how long has he been doing that job?
Well, ever since the holiday season started. He kind of needed a job, too. He ain't been able to get much work the last couple of years.
Well, it's good that he's found something at Christmas time anyway, Joey.
Yeah, that's what I told him. But the money he's making, well, on this job is going for back rent and bills and things. It ain't really Christmas money.
So your prospects for Christmas still none too bright, huh?
Well, Mr. Cranston, I ain't worried. Pop will find some way for us to have a good Christmas. You see, when he's worried like of anything, me and him take a walk down by the dock. We sit on the pier and watch the water going by. You know, Pop says watching the water like that makes him all easy inside again. Gee, I like going down there with him. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, Joey.
I figured you probably would. Hey, look, there's Hobo Sam. Hey, will you stop a minute, Mr. Shrevey?
Yeah, to be sure, to be sure.
Hey, Sam, wait a minute. I got something for you. Excuse me, please. I'll be right back.
All right.
I got you a paper, Sam. Lots of ads in it, too. It's practically an overcoat.
Oh, my. I wish there was something we could do for Joey's family as well as for him.
We will, Margo. We'll do something, but it can't be charity. No, they're too proud to accept that.
Well, there must be some way to help, though.
We'll find a way. Just leave it to me.
Okay, I'm ready, Mr. Cranston.
Well, how did Hobo Sam like the paper?
Huh?
I say, was he glad to get the paper?
Who?
Well, Hobo Sam.
Oh, yeah, Hobo Sam. Yeah.
What's the matter, Joey? You seem worried.
Well, I just found out something from Hobo Sam.
Really? What?
Well, he just told me that the father of one of the kids that I run around with,
Yeah.
he was on his way to a house on Water Street to murder a guy.
What?
What?
Hey, a guy murdered, did he say, hey?
Did you get the address?
Yeah, it's 18 Water Street.
Well, we better notify the police.
No, there ain't time for that, Mr. Cranston. But you could help.
How?
Well, you got the reputation as a gentleman detective, right? And you could do something about this yourself.
Well, now.
Oh, there's a guy being murdered, Mr. Cranston.
Well, very well. Shrevey, 18 Water Street. Better hurry.
On the way.
Are you sure you got the right address, Joey? This is just an old deserted warehouse.
I know this is the right place, Miss Lane. A lot of the men come here to play cards and stuff.
Well, we'll see what's in this room here. Come on.
Lamont, look at this room.
Wow. Furniture broken, strewn all over the room. Yeah, there's definitely been a fight here, all right.
Yeah, this must be the place. This must be it.
Look, right there. Blood on the floor.
Yeah, see it. No sign of a body, though.
No sign of a body, though.
Joey, what are you doing?
Just making notes in my notebook. I like to keep a record of how a detective works.
Well, this room looks like a dozen men have staged a brawl in here.
Looks like dozen.
More notes, Joey?
Yes, sir.
You know, I can't make heads or tails of this thing. There's dozens of clues, but no evidence.
Come on. Look here.
What is it, Margo?
A note. I found it on the floor.
What does it say?
Hurry to 19 West Street before another disaster occurs.
Well, that's a mighty convenient message. They must have been expecting help. Come on. We're going to go to 19 West Street.
Well, there's the number, 19 West Street. And I'm obliged to add, in a very unusual neighborhood this has left us in.
It's just an old boarded up tenement house.
Well, let's go take a look.
Well, how can we even get into this place? The doors are all barred.
Yeah, we may have trouble forcing an entrance, that's for sure.
Hey, do you think maybe a body's in there, Mr. Cranston?
Now, Joey, I never make predictions in a case like this.
No Hey, how do you spell prediction, Mr.
Joey,
Cranston?
please, will you forget your notebook for a moment, please?
Yeah, but it's on the line of duty, Mr. Cranston.
Lamont, look up there by that window. There's a piece of paper attached to
Oh,
it.
yeah. Hey, Joey, can you go up and get that for me?
Yes, sir.
Lamont, what is this all about?
Margo, I haven't the slightest idea.
Here you are, Mr. Cranston. It's a note, all right.
Let's see what it says. Let me have it. Please come at once to 66 Broome Street, urgent.
Hey, that's my address. That's where I live. Hurry, will you? Hurry! Our flat is right on this floor. Mom uses it as kind of a storage place, like it's kind of an attic.
You know, I suppose we better look up there.
But Joey, what you doing home so early?
Oh, hello, Mom. I'm working on something.
Oh, again, eh?
Look, Mom, please. This here's Miss Lane and Mr. Cranston.
Well, how do you do, Miss
How do you do?
McDonald?
Nice to meet you.
Pop get home yet?
You know he has another hour of work on the corner, Joey. What are you up to now, young man?
We think there's a dead man up in the attic.
A dead man? Heavens to glory!
Don't be alarmed, Miss McNulty. That's just a superstition. Suspicion.
Oh, so whatever it is, I don't like it.
Don't you really think that there's a dead guy up there, Mr. Cranston?
No, I don't think so, Joey.
Yeah, but them notes and the blood and everything in the warehouse.
What about him?
Well, don't that mean somebody's dead?
Well, not necessarily.
Well, but it does in all the detective stories.
So you read detective stories, huh?
Well, sure. I'm surprised at you, Mr. Cranston. I always thought that when the detective saw blood and everything...
But I'm not even sure there was blood.
It was so blood.
Well, how do you know?
How'd I know? Well, didn't I cut my own finger?
Uh-huh. I suspected as
Yeah,
much.
but wait a minute. What I meant to say was...
What you meant to say was you staged this whole thing for our benefit, didn't you?
Joey, did you do that?
Well, maybe I sort of did.
Well, what did he do? What are you up to now, young man?
It's just a little game. He was playing on us, Miss McNulty. It just kind of backfired, that's all.
Oh, gee. And I thought I had it planned so good.
Well, you did. You did. You just made one little mistake, that's all.
Only one? What?
Well, all these notes were in your handwriting. The same handwriting that was in your notebook.
Well, what do you know? Am I a dope?
Oh.
What was that?
Joy, is this part of your game?
No, honest. I don't know nothing about that.
We better have a look up in the attic. Hang on here, Margo.
Hey, I'm coming with you. Yeah, that's the door right ahead. Oh, gee, it's Mrs. Murphy.
No, she's been hit on the head. Oh, that's a nasty wound. Who is she, Joy?
Mrs. Murphy's sort of a rich woman here in the neighborhood, and she's the meanest and stingiest one, too.
Let's see. What happened, ma'am? What happened?
Hit on the head.
Did you see who did it?
I don't know. The blow came from behind, hit me, and robbed me.
Hey, look, here's her pocketbook on the floor.
Yeah, let me see it a minute.
Well, here you are.
Well, there's still some money in it. $10. How much money did you have, ma'am?
$75.
Well, that's strange. If it was a robbery, why would the assailant leave you $10?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, she's passed out again.
Huh. Well, I wonder how the person who attacked her made a getaway. I mean, there's no windows in the room, and we were in the only doorway.
Gosh, then it must have been...
what are you trying to say?
Oh, nothing.
It must have been who, Joe?
I didn't say nothing.
Very well. If you'd rather not tell me, we'd better get Miss Murphy down to your apartment pretty quick. Well, the wound isn't serious, but it may be wise not to move her until a doctor has a chance to look her over.
I'll call for Dr. Collins right away.
Thanks, Miss McNulty. Now, Margo, if you could get me some hot water, please.
Sure.
Pa, what are you doing home? I didn't know you were here.
What?
Hi, Pop.
Oh, I guess you were so busy cooking you didn't hear me come in.
Well, no, Pa, I'd have seen you.
Hey, Pop, come on in here.
Oh, hello, son. What's going on here?
Mrs. Murphy, she got hit and robbed.
Oh, well, you know, that's too bad.
Hey, these are friends of mine, Pop. Miss Lane and Mr. Cranston.
How do you do, Mr. McNulty?
How do you do?
Yeah, mighty glad to know you folks.
Maybe we better be getting along.
Yeah, I guess maybe you had.
But I tell you what, let's make tomorrow our date for go to the toy stores. What about that?
Yeah, sure. Well, sure, thanks.
Well, goodbye, Joey,
Yeah,
Miss
goodbye.
McNulty.
Sure.
What do you suppose happened to that lady, Lamont?
Not quite sure yet. Several things that just aren't on the up and up.
Well, wait a minute. What do you mean?
Well, first, why would the crook, whoever he is, leave $10 in her purse?
Yes, I thought of that.
And secondly, how did he make his escape from the room? And why was Joy so upset about it? I mean, he almost revealed something to me up there, but changed his mind.
And why do you suppose Mrs. McNulty acted so strangely?
I don't know. I'm just as curious about that as you are, Margo. You know, I don't believe his story about coming to the house unnoticed. Maybe tomorrow we need to stop at Mr. McNulty's corner and have a little talk with Santa Claus.
Before Lamont Cranston interviews Santa Claus, put yourself in his place just a moment. If you had the privilege of a personal interview with Kris Kringle, what would you ask him to bring you? Well, maybe you ladies would ask him for a handkerchief, and possibly you gentlemen would put in a bid for some neckties. But if Santa Claus should bring you a sack full of blue coal, that would bring real Christmas cheer to ladies and gentlemen alike. For blue coal is America's finest hard coal. It burns better, banks better, distributes steady, long-lasting, convenient heat from cellar to attic of your home. And then supposing you got a blue coal automatic heat regulator, easily done up in a special holiday wrapping, then you'd be doubly lucky, for you'd have the perfect heating combination for economy and comfort. But if you don't get the opportunity to interview Santa Claus personally, here's the next best thing you can do. Call on your friendly blue coal dealer. You'll find him willing and eager to help with you and any home heating problems. His name is listed in the Where to Buy section of your classified telephone directory under the words Blue Coal. And now, back to Joey's Christmas story.
Oh, help the Christmas fund.
There he is, Margo. Watch your footing on the snow.
All right.
Hi, good afternoon, Mr. McNulty.
Huh?
Oh, I beg your pardon. I thought this was Mr. McNulty's corner.
Well, it was till this morning.
Well, what happened?
He didn't show up, so I got his uniform and location.
Huh. Well, where is he, do you know?
You got me, mister. Maybe he's up at the North Pole getting the reindeer ready for the big run. It's a pot for the reindeer, folks. Help. Ho, 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 ho. Help the Christmas
We should
fund.
stuff him for over the mantelpiece. Lamont, what do you suppose has happened to him?
I don't know. There's something wrong, though. I think it's time for the Shadow to make a call to the McNulty flat.
Now let me see here. Is it 2 cups of flour or 1? Oh dear.
Mrs. McNulty.
Who is that?
Don't be alarmed, Mrs. McNulty. I've come here to talk to you.
But where are you? Who are you?
I'm called the Shadow. Don't try to find me. I'm standing here beside you. But by my power, I've hypnotized your mind so that you cannot see me.
Why, I don't understand. What do you want of me?
I've come here to help you.
Help me how?
Where's your husband?
I don't know.
Please have confidence in me. He's in trouble, isn't he?
Yes, Tim's in trouble.
Is it about money?
Yes, I guess you do know, don't you?
Not the whole story.
Tim's a good man. A good man, believe me. And what he done? Oh, he done it because of me and little Joey.
Tell me about it, please.
Well, last night after the doctor come and took Mrs. Murphy home, Tim made me a present of $65.
Did you know where the money came from?
No, I wasn't sure. I asked him about it. I asked him where it had come from and where it come upon such a sum of wealth. But he avoided my question.
I see.
All he would tell me was that this Christmas Joey and I are going to have all the things we couldn't have in the past.
I understand, Mrs. McNulty.
Then this morning after he went to work, I found this note from Tim sitting on the kitchen table.
What did the note say?
It says that he's the one that robbed Mrs. Murphy. Oh, my Tim done that, my poor Tim.
Did he explain why he did that?
Yes. He said that the money owed to him by Mrs. Murphy had been owed for several years. He had tried many times to collect it, but Mrs. Murphy is, well, kind of a stingy person, you see.
So he chose that way of getting the money back that was rightfully his.
Yes, that was it. Oh, but he knew he'd done wrong by doing it that way. Tim knows that now, sir. He knows that he acted in desperation just for me and little Joey. That's the only reason.
I believe that. It couldn't have been anything else.
But now he's so ashamed. He's ashamed most of all because little Joey knows what he done. You see, there's that back staircase that comes to our flat to the attic, and Joey knows that. He knows his pop used those stairs.
Where do you think your husband's gone?
If only I knew, and that isn't my only worry.
What do you mean?
I'm afraid little Joey's gone too.
Why?
He said he'd be home by 2 o'clock, and it's almost 6 o'clock now and no sign of him. And an hour ago, one of his little friends came by to ask where he was. He told me Joey hadn't been on his corner all day.
Mrs. McNulty, don't worry. Please, I give you my word. They'll return, and everything will turn out right.
Well, what did you find out, Lamont?
Well, Joey's father was the one who robbed the man, all right.
Oh, Lamont.
Yeah, and now both he and little Joey have disappeared.
Oh, how awful.
Well, it's not that bad, Margo. I think I know where to find them. Down at the docks on Water Street.
Why'd you have to do that to Mrs. Murphy?
I don't know, son.
Golly, we didn't need that money that bad.
Oh, Joey, can't you understand, son? This year I wanted you and your mother to have all the things I couldn't give you in the past. I've been a failure, Joey, just a plain failure.
That ain't no way to talk. You've been a swell, Pop. Whatever you done, it's done better than anybody in the whole world, even Santa Clausin. You're the best Santa I ever seen. Better even than the real one.
Yeah, that's nice to hear, Joey, but it ain't so.
Pop, I don't know what's got into you. Don't you remember all the things you told me when we'd go down here by the river before? About courage and hope and the future. You know, all the things you told me I should look for.
That was for you, Joey, not for me.
Yeah, but I'm part of you, Pop. Whatever you are, that's what I am. And Mom feels the same way. We're all together, all for each other, honest.
Joey is right, Mr. McNulty.
Well, who was that? Who spoke?
I did.
Well, who are you?
Men call me the Shadow.
The Shadow? Holy smokes, it's the Shadow, Pop. You heard of him, the invisible guy.
Yes, Shadow?
Well, if you've heard of me, then you both know I'm here to help you.
Gee, did you hear that, Pop? The Shadow's going to help us.
Well, yes, but how?
I know the trouble you're in, Mr. McNulty. I know what you did to Mrs. Murphy.
Well, he wasn't to blame for that. Honest, Mr. Shadow.
Yes, I was, Joey.
But Mrs. Murphy was a mean old woman. She had plenty of dough, and she owed Pop that money for years and years, and she never paid it to him. That's why Pop done what he done.
I know. I realize that, Joey.
What I did was wrong, Joey, and I must pay for it. I'm going to tell my story to the police.
No.
I don't think that will be necessary, Mr. McNulty. There's another way, a better way.
Well, what is it?
I want you and young Joy to go to Mrs. Murphy's house and tell her what you've done.
Why, she'd send Pop to jail for
Oh,
life.
wait now. Do as I say, please. I'll be there with you. I believe if you explain your reasons to her honestly and sincerely, and tell her why you did what you did, even as hard a woman as Mrs. Murphy will listen to reason on this night of nights, Christmas Eve.
I knew it. I had the feeling that you done this to me from the very beginning, McNulty.
But I've come to ask your forgiveness, Mrs. Murphy. I've come back here to ask you to please understand why I did it.
You robbed me. That was all. That's why you did it.
But it was really Pop's money.
Makes no difference. I'm turning you over to the police.
Well, we'll tell him it was Pop's money, too.
They'll never believe you. I'm the only one who knows about the debt. Remember that.
That's where you're wrong, Mrs. Murphy. You aren't the only one.
Who's that?
Oh, boy, it's the Shadow. He's here just like he said he'd be.
Now, where are you? I can't see anyone.
I shall remain quite invisible to your eyes, Mrs. Murphy, but you are going to hear me, and you're going to do as I say.
I don't understand this.
I know all about this episode of the stolen money, and I realize Mr. McNulty was wrong in what he did, but his reason for doing it is one that I shall always admire.
What do you mean?
Mr. McNulty has a family, a fine family, a wife and a son. He loves them both very dearly. Things have not gone too well for that family for a long, long time. You wouldn't know what that means, Mrs. Murphy. You can't realize how a man feels when he wants to give everything to his loved ones and has nothing to give.
But that doesn't justify...
Wait a minute, let me finish. He never bothered you for that money you owed him, although many times he needed it very much. Then Christmas time approached. He asked you for the money and you refused. That $65 meant the difference between happiness and despair to his wife and sons. And what he did to you, he did for them.
Yeah, I see.
Do you know what Christmas really means, Mrs. Murphy? It's a time of forgiveness, of man's goodwill to man. You must know that feeling. You must show it by letting bygones be bygones between you and the McNultys.
I see what you mean.
I want whatever has stood between you to be forgotten. Tonight, that young boy is singing at the choir at the cathedral. I want you to join him and his family. Go with them to the church. Open your heart and your hands in forgiveness to them and to all mankind.
Oh, that was so lovely, Lamont. The church, the choir, everything.
Yes, it was very beautiful.
Oh, look, Lamont. It's snowing again. Soft, gentle snow, covering the city with a blanket of white.
It's almost like poetry, ain't it, Pop?
Aye, Joey. Poetry. Shall we walk home, Mrs. Murphy?
Yes, I'd like to very much.
Come on, Mother.
Of course, Tim.
Golly, ain't that swell the way Mom and Pop and Mrs. Murphy are friends and everything?
Well, Joy, that's the spirit of Christmas. Peace on earth, goodwill to men.
Hey, Mr. Cranston, that's all right. I gotta make a note of that in my notebook.
Today's program is based on a story copyrighted by the Shadow magazine. The characters, names, places, and plot are fictitious. Any similarity to persons living or dead is purely coincidental.
The weed of crime bears bitter fruit. Crime does not pay. The Shadow knows.
Next week, same time, same station, the Blue Coal Dealers of America bring you an adventure of The Shadow, chock full of thrills and dynamic, dramatic action. So be sure to listen, and be sure to phone your friendly Blue Coal dealer for greater heating comfort at less cost. We wish you a very Merry Christmas on behalf of our entire staff.